decrees.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, we have our own decrees.
I didn't think that you had decrees that were what you see like in the violet flame and things like that.
They're similar, but see, we had to write our own.
So these are more powerful that you have?
Well, they're more powerful for us.
Oh, okay.
See, the reason being is that I don't have the privilege or the right to use other decrees. Not really. Not and publish them. Even though they come from the same source, in other words.
I understand. In other words, you have to have your own decrees to do that.
Yeah, you know what happened with Geraldine Innocente. What I'm saying is that Geraldine Innocente was the new messenger. She went to Lotus, who was, Godfrey and Lotus were the I Am movement. She went to Lotus and she said, I'm working with the masters. Let's work together. Instead, Lotus sued her and won in court. Lotus was way off base. Unfortunately, she didn't know that. And the dispensation went to Geraldine Innocente to be the new messenger to Mark in 1958. So this is all part of the master's work, but she didn't want to hear that. And she had actually said, I think it was her that said there would be no new teachings released after them, which of course doesn't even make sense, let alone being true. And the masters don't stop talking, and they don't talk through just one individual.
No, they don't.
Even though one is anointed, so to speak, specially like Mother was, to be a messenger. Anyone can be a messenger who has the attainment, who's done the work, and wishes to be so.
Yeah. That is true.
So it's not an exclusive club, other than the fact that most people don't know it, most people aren't going for it. So Geraldine lost a $5 million lawsuit based on this, and because she wrote a book called, I think it was I Am Victory Discourses, and so Lotus had a similar book, and they were both from Victory. They're not the same book, but because Victory was doing the dictating, there's a similarity. Just like if you say something about Saint Germain, it's liable to be very familiar to what I'm saying because Saint Germain is doing the saying.
That's right.
And they're not, there is a proprietary thing here. So my decrees, I had never given myself permission to write a decree.
You're talking legally though, right?
Legally, as well as having the attainment to write decrees correctly.
Okay.
Which meant that I had to learn, first of all, what a decree was, exactly as much as possible, and I had to be willing to do that, and I had to have a certain amount of schooling to be able to do it correctly before the masters would dictate through me at that level. So one day I'm coming home from a retreat from a summer conference in Montana, and I pull over to the side of the road with my twin flame, and we're going to camp. And I get out of the van with my drum, and I start, the first decree comes through me. We call for all the souls of light on the planet to unite. We call for all the souls of light on the planet to unite. We call for all the souls of light on the planet to unite. And I realized, wait a minute, I said, whoa, that's a decree. It's new. I realized who it was from. It was from Cthulhu and Jesus. And I said, okay, I better write this down. And that was my first decree that I brought through. Then I learned later on that I could ask. I said, oh, I need a decree from you, Serapis. He gave me a decree instantly.
Good.
I am Ascension Flame, our victory I claim. I am Ascension Flame, our victory I claim. And this was it. So I just kept, I realized that I had the process down. I knew what I was looking for. And in the physical, I was capable. And in the etheric, I was anointed to do it. So I brought through a series of decrees. I brought through a whole decree book.
Oh, you do have a book?
Yeah.
Oh.
I brought through a whole decree book. It's not like Summits. It's
Did you publish it?
Yeah, oh
Was
yeah.
it published?
Oh,
I'm a publisher.
Oh.
Do you have it here?
Yes, I do. It's not for sale anywhere but here, because it's like very expensive to get one printed,
Yes.
you know,
Yes, that's true.
and have it done correctly. So I publish them here loose leaf, and that's what I do. So anyway, the decrees were designed, you know, not only, I mean, Linnella was Longfellow.
Yes.
He knows rhythm and rhyme, and he
Yes.
knows what he's doing. I also, you know, I know iambic pentameter. I know all this stuff innately. So I work with that. But our decrees, Kathumi said, and this is nothing against Summit Lighthouse, but I used to do Estrellas and with Summit Lighthouse.
Yes.
And it would take 2 years to get any momentum doing this an
Really?
Estrella. Because if you walk into a group of people doing Estrellas, it's like, oh my God, what are they saying? What's going on? You know, we used to do 5,000 people decreeing.
Oh, yes, I did.
You know,
Yes.
and a newcomer comes in and they say, wait a minute, and they get blown out.
That's right.
So Kathumi said, we want the decrees to be simple.
Yes.
We want them to be simple enough that if a person hears them 2 or 3 times, they can repeat them.
That's wonderful.
And we want them to be rhythmical, and we want drumming with them.
Drumming is wonderful.
We want the drumming. And I knew,
Beautiful.
you know, we don't do that at Summit. We didn't do it
I
at
know
Summit.
it. I know it.
And I was, you know, I was a little embarrassed at the thought of presenting these to anyone in Summit Lighthouse, because I knew that they were different. And I knew that even though Mother released me, I was called into her office one day and she said, now you know what you need to know, go teach it. And I was released from staff. So I knew that I was on assignment as well. I didn't know what that meant. But anyway, it took me almost 10 years before I gave myself permission to write a decree. And that's why I said, well, okay, this was time. It came through me. Duh, okay, it's ready. So then we started doing decrees with music and with drumming. So that was an important step. And I knew that some people would be offended by it, but that wasn't my business. As El Moria told me many times, he said, it's none of your business who gets this. It's none of your business who comes to see you speak.
That's right.
That's our business. And
They
just
send the people
just
to
show
Summit.
up. That's why I laughed. You know, you said you're here. El Moria sent you. It's so typical.
Yeah. we're just
Kathumi
here.
sent a girl yesterday.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, I did a whole CD of her doing a meditation.
Oh, boy.
You know, and it just it happens all the time. Not often, you know, but I mean, consistently. Because if it were often, I'd be surprised. There aren't that many people on the planet that are ready for this.
That's true.
But we do readings. I do readings, mostly Japanese people.
Oh.
And anyway, the whole gist of the decrees was that they wanted a different kind of decree.
Mm.
And the Summit, you know, Estrella took a long time. I said, well, Estrella,
I know it.
give me a decree
That's easy.
that has this kind of, that has your momentum and has everything it needs and can be quickly learned.
Yes, that's what I
I
always
am
thought. I
Estrella
always
cutting
thought
me
that.
free,
Yes.
circle and sword of purity.
Yes.
I am Estrella cutting me free, circle and sword of purity. I
Yes.
am Estrella cutting me free, circle and sword of purity.
Yes.
Of course, they have invocations that go with them, and there's a cut me loose and set me free, cut me loose and set me free, cut me loose and set me free from all that's less than Christ's perfection and my own divine plan fulfilled.
Yes.
I am Estrella cutting us free, circle and sword of purity, that kind of thing. So I said to Estrella, well, I know people will get this easier than the Summit Lighthouse. Some people have the diligence to learn those. I did. It's not
I
impossible.
had to learn everything.
I mean, I still remember some of them by heart that I haven't
Yes,
done
I
in
still-
years.
Cyclopedia. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I taught her. Cyclopedia.
So, I mean, that's a good thing. But for a lot of people, it's a little too heavy for their they want
I
something
know it.
simpler.
Yes.
So I thought, well,
I
okay,
agree with that.
that's my assignment. I understand, and I did the work.